Freedom House, a Washington based think tank formed in 1941, downgraded India from free to partly free in its annual report. And no wonder India slipped down to be amidst its neighbors, still faring a lot better than Pakistan and Bangladesh, otherwise known as the other two Pogba brothers, or the Ayush Sharma and Arbaz Khan to our Salman Khan. Though the real question is, do we not want to be Salim Khan considering that we birthed the countries? In the same list, we're also better than Bhutan, Myanmar, Tibet, Sri Lanka, and China, with whom we share a little bit of border at the very top. And I've come to understand, I've come to this revelation that it's not the 87 to 88 registered rapes a day in this country, a rape every 16 minutes, or a whole Anu Malik album, which of course includes the bonus track, Sexual Harassment. Somebody, please, take away his garam chai ki pyali. These 87 to 88 registered rapes a day, a staggering reality which already alienates the 66 crore women of this country, which the really high courts of the country themselves are tackling, with the High Court stating that groping with clothes on is not sexual assault, and the Supreme Court playing Jeevansathi.com in the most middle school I sat so it's my seat, finders, keepers, losers, weepers way, in which the then 18-year-old man Akkar Bakkar Bombay bored the woman. So of course he had a right to have her on this side, but lost out because he got married. Maybe their Lord will suggest that he turns Muslim like Mahesh Bhatt so he could have two wives. And just to put it out there, my Lord, Krishna, waged war against the Kurus after Duryodhan's brother, Dusasan, whose blood was definitely not wine as attested by Bhim, assaulted Draupadi and tried to strip her. Nor do I think that India is only partly free because of the illegal arrest of any critics, with the misuse of the sedition law, according to the Supreme Court at least, which stated that dissent and difference of opinion cannot be termed seditious, and according to the High Court, which stated that sedition cannot be invoked to minister to the wounded vanity of the government, which personally I would consider a win for the Indian women, because Indira Gandhi has already been there, done that. Of course, rather than sedition, you could always get married through rape, which is illegal and should not even be considered a possibility for the courts. But hey, and then your rape will no longer be rape, but just some kinky fun because marital rape does not exist in India, which, if Meena Harris is to be believed, just might be the plan with Nodeep Kaur. No, this is not why I think India is a partly free country. This isn't why I think India has slipped down to be amidst our lowly ranked cousins that we definitely try to avoid at any given moment. My biggest grievance with the government is its mistreatment of students. Not that. No, not that either. No. How is it that after having registered, having spent hours studying, having filled notebooks, having gone through refills upon refills for gel pens and bottles of ink for fountain pens, how is it that the exam, the prestigious Cow Science exam, when only a week away, can be suddenly suspended indefinitely? How will the people know that the reason why earthquakes occur is because of cow slaughter, or that Indian cows are better than Jersey cows, which of course they are? The yellow in our cow's urine has traces of gold, while the Jersey cows have none. No wonder the British had to come all the way here searching for rich countries. The Jersey cows are useless. I wouldn't say the same about Ankoli Watusi. They seem like a wonderful breed of cows, on par with our own, just splendid. Unless they want to be known as the best, in which case, fuck this exam, I'm not picking a fight with them. Maybe that's why the exams were suspended. I completely understand. I completely understand. I do not know how India could be downgraded then.